Local Outbreak with IPMNation.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. This is Matt Connerton from IPMNation.com here with you, bringing you another great week of New Hampshire-based musicians. So much great talent here in the Granite State from a variety of genres, and you're going to hear a lot of great stuff tonight. So tonight you're going to hear, it's going to be a mix of some folks that we've never played before on the show, brand new stuff, but also some artists that we have featured who have some new music. And we're also going to place a little bit of emphasis tonight, a little bit of extra emphasis on a specific artist who we featured recently on the show. The band Sepsis, and if you're looking for them online, it's spelled Sepsiss, Sepsis, from here in New Hampshire. I did an interview with them, I think it was a couple of months ago now, and we played some tracks, and, you know, they had some demos and stuff, and really great band. But recently I received in my inbox some new stuff from them and some fully mastered tracks. And I have to tell you, they sound phenomenal. This is... They already, it's incredible. It's like, you know, I really liked them before. That's why I had them on. But it's like in the couple of months since then, they've totally leveled up, and the sound is fantastic, and they're just great. I think they have a really big future. So, like I said, what we played on the show before, you know, was a fun interview, and we played some tracks that weren't fully mastered, but you know, but they sounded great, and you could hear, you know, you could really hear the potential and some really great tunes. But all of a sudden, they're operating on a whole new level. So they weren't kidding when they were talking about that, what was to come down the pike during that interview. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to play some of the new stuff from Sepsis that I've received, as well as some other artists. So it'll be a little bit of a mix, but we're going to feature as much as we can from what I received from the band Sepsis and these newly mastered tracks. And in fact, we're going to go ahead and dive right in. This is so good. I love this. This is called Eyes of Empathy, brand new from Sepsis, to open up this week's Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet.
Swimming in my head.
that is so good. I love that. That is Eyes of Empathy from Sepsis. Next, we'll feature, we're going to really shift gears, a singer-songwriter named Charles Bernier. And this is a gentleman who found me online recently, and I love his stuff. We might actually feature more than one track of his if we have time, or maybe we'll double up and feature another song of his next week, because he has a couple of albums of just fantastic music. But this is great. This is called Everything We Need, and it does have a message if you pay attention. Everything We Need by Charles Bernier, next on this week's Local Outbreak.
She's only made of thread and dye, yet she stands as strong as steel. She represents the blood and guts that made this country real. Some have ripped her, burned her, thrown her down to try to make her weak, but they only make her stronger with each angry word they speak. This flag still stands for freedom, to be the way we want to be. The kind that lets us protest war and question what we see. The kind that lets us criticize the leaders of this land, as well protect the rights of those we cannot understand. Well, she's for me, she's for you. That's why Old Glory flies. Well, she's the red, white, and blue that sparkle in our skies, and you can cut her if you want to. She's not afraid to bleed. You'll find this flag that we salute stands for everything we need, everything we need. This country's made of foreigners, where difference is the norm, where people worship as they choose, and love comes in all forms. And though she isn't perfect, let nothing shake your pride. To live this way, to be so free, is why so many die. Well, she's for me, she's for you. That's why Old Glory flies. Well, she's the red, white, and blue, the sparkle in our skies, and you can cut her if you want to. She's not afraid to bleed. You'll find this flag that we salute stands for everything we need. Well, she's for me, she's for you. That's why Old Glory flies. Well, she's the red, white, and blue, the sparkle in our skies, and you can cut her if you want to. She's not afraid to bleed. You'll find this flag that we salute stands for everything we need, everything we need.
That's Everything We Need from Charles Bernier. Let's do another track from Sepsis, our featured artist this week. Again, this is a newly mastered track, and it sounds phenomenal, and I did tell them I think this is a hit. I really do. And there's a brand new video for this, too, which is really, really well done. You can find it on their YouTube page. And to remind you, in case you're looking for them online, Sepsis is Sepsiss. This is great. This is called To Write Hate on His Arms, brand new from Sepsis.
Local Outbreak with IPMNation.com.
You're listening to Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet and IPM Nation. Matt Connerton from IPMNation.com here with you. And continuing on, we're going to play some more new music from Sepsis, as well as some other artists coming up in the remainder of the time that we have here this week. But here's another great track, newly mastered, newly released. This is great stuff. This is called No Strings Attached from Sepsis from Manchester, New Hampshire. Up next on this week's Local Outbreak, here it is.
I can be a marionette. I can make a stand.
That was No Strings Attached from Sepsis, and before that we heard another great Sepsis track, To Write Hate on His Arms. Brand new video for that, too, up on YouTube. Next up, from Two Ton Santa, a great record label from the New Hampshire seacoast. This is Tom Pirazzoli. His last name, if you're looking for him online, Pirozolli. Tom Pirazzoli. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And again, this is from Two Ton Santa. This is great. This is called The Lodestone. Next on this week's Local Outbreak.
I came upon a tattered book. I picked it up, had a look. A young girl's story of a time-held slave and her plan of escape. Read like this. I hear the water on the shore. I see my children at play. I write this down for what it's worth, for it was not always this way. Just a child, 1741, the year slave traders come, reached our shores in the dead of night, stole men and women and children alike. Now a girl like me does as she's told, but I watched, I waited patiently. I saw the captain's pride was his lodestone, it was his guide across the seas. Girls and boys were cabin slaves. But in time I gained the captain's grace. And as he slept, stone drunk one night, I stole his key, I stole his prize. I slipped the guards sleeping by then, freed the women and the men, and over the side with a boat and oars, ever so quiet for nameless shores. There are men who would steal our right to be free. But time revealed it was all we could be. And once out on the sea, far from the slave's hand, lodestone gave us hope of safe harbor for to land. Now I am young no more, but each day I watch the shore man alive you see will ever again take freedom from me.
Great stuff. That is Tom Pirozzoli with a track called The Lodestone. Let's do another one from 2 Ton Santa. Like I said, it's a great record label from the Seacoast area right here in New Hampshire. This is a project called The Concerns, and this is called Who Loves the Moon. Let's give this a listen. I really like this a lot. This is a great song.
Local Outbreak with IPMNation.com.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. Continuing on, up next, here is someone that we have featured on the show actually many times before in the last few years especially, but he's very prolific. It seems like he's always got something new. And this also comes out of Two Ton Santa, a very awesome record label from the seacoast of New Hampshire. This is Guy Capisolatro III, and I'm never quite sure that I'm saying his last name correctly because it's a very long name. But I think I've got it right. Guy Capisolatro III. And this is called Broken Watches, next up on this week's Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet.
I have that picture of you standing holding an ice cream cone, and there's a 1970s breeze blowing your curly hair around like cotton candy. Your skin is soft and pale, and I can almost feel it against my finger. I'm sure you've had your first kiss, your first cigarette, but maybe you've never flown in a plane across the Atlantic. I can tell you like carnivals and you were against the war. You had an older brother who went over, you won't see anymore. The cold, cold war is all you ever seem to dream about. You wake up sweating through your tank top, worried there's someone walking around in the house. You can't seem to get yourself out of bed. I relate. There's not a bird in the world you don't know the name of, though you've really only ever seen a few. You can still remember the card tricks you learned as a kid, but you only ever break them out at parties when you're tipsy. Maybe you took a trip all the way down to Florida, watched whales jumping through the air at SeaWorld. You saw your grandma Ida holed up in that trailer park and pressed your head against her heaving chest. You knew she loved you. Cold, cold war is all you ever seem to dream about. You wake up sweating through your tank top, worried there's someone walking around in the house. You can't seem to get yourself out of bed. I relate. I relate. Picture walking down the street when I was your age, in a box full of broken watches. I've kept you with me through these crazy winding years. I guess I like the way you keep time stopping, how you're frozen. Has some new worry supplanted those old dreams? Maybe I've passed you, walking down these streets. Goddamn, I've been grieving. I lost my only human. Most days are bare, thick and consuming. I still have your picture, and sometimes it takes me away.
That was Guy Capisolatro III on this week's Local Outbreak with a song called Broken Watches. And before that, we heard The Concerns with Who Loves the Moon, which I think is a really interesting track. Next on the show, this is Bob Moore, and this is called In Here, next up on this week's Local Outbreak.
Can't say how my spirit came to be. I grew up in the company of birds. They came when hands would scatter seeds, and when they sang I thought I heard their words. They seemed to say, however cold it was, living here was home among the trees, and folks who sat upon a bench would come because their time in here was free. And I have relatives not far from here. In fact, they've all grown up, or so I've learned. I get the latest news not from a paper. I get it when my feathered friends return. As far as I can tell, I'm old as dirt. Older than the fountain and the sign that greet the people when they walk. In here they lose the shadows of their minds, and I have relatives not far from here. In fact, they've all grown up, or so I've learned. I get the latest news not from a paper. I get it when my feathered friends return. In this old park it sleeps from dusk till dawn, and time moves at its own pace, dawn till dusk, until the park walls disappear. I'll open up my case again and busk. Yeah, I'll open up my case again and busk.
That's a nice song. That's In Here by Bob Moore. This is Matt Connerton from IPMNation.com here with you, as I am every week, for Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. And as always, very, very grateful and thankful to 100.1 The Planet for continuing to support the show and to support the local music scene. It's a great thing, as we are in our 9th year of Local Outbreak and continuing to have the opportunity to feature so much great talent here on the show. So much great talent here in New Hampshire. And next, we're going to do one more track from Sepsis. Again, this is the mastered version of a song called Fair to Say, which I absolutely love. Again, very, very catchy. This is Fair to Say from Sepsis from Manchester, New Hampshire, right here on Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet.
Outbreak with IPMNation.com.
This is Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet and IPM Nation. Matt Connerton here with you. We got time for just a couple more quick ones. So I want to play this. This is Persona is the name of the project from southern New Hampshire. This is called Brighton Avenue. This is kind of a fun, funky little track here. Hope you like it. And then we'll come back and we'll play one more. I think we have time for two more. So anyway, this is Brighton Avenue from Persona next on Local Outbreak. That was Persona with Brighton Avenue. We got time for one more. As promised, because I did say I wanted to feature this particular singer-songwriter a couple times on the show because I love what he's doing, and he's got a lot of great material. So we're going to play one more track from Charles Bernier here on the show this week, and this is kind of fun. This is called If Lance Armstrong Had Played Guitar, to finish out this week's local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet.
If Lance Armstrong played guitar, he'd be better than the rest. Everyone would be impressed with his flying fingers. He would dress like no one's fool. Everything would be so cool, and we all would say he ruled as a mighty picker. If Lance Armstrong played guitar, his bike he would not ride, while his drugs would be his guide on his magic journey. He'd be sold out where he played, but he'd be in the Hall of Fame, and we'd still respect his name and all his earnings. He wouldn't have people making trouble for him. He wouldn't be dealing with this fix he's in. He could use what help he needed just to play that way, and the world would feel it's okay, yeah. If Lance Armstrong played guitar, he'd be surrounded by rock fans. Well, they'd be welcomed in his van, and how they'd love him. He would love them back so hard, but he would not get caught off guard. No DNA would tarnish his sense of rhythm. If Lance Armstrong played guitar, well, there'd be books about his style. Well, he'd flash his winning smile as he signed the ladies. He'd be a guitar god, you see. Well, there'd be no one quite as free, and the critics would agree that he was the greatest. He wouldn't have people making trouble for him. He wouldn't be dealing with this fix he's in. He could use what help he needed just to play that way, and the world would feel it's okay, yeah. If Lance Armstrong played guitar, it'd be different, that's for sure. The press would not deter his fame and glory. Oh, they'd embrace the life he'd led, but he'd be like the Grateful Dead. Things wouldn't have been said, it'd be a different story.
Local Outbreak with IPMNation.com.